and welcome to Lipstick on a Rig. Today we are going to be making this tiny little beanie for a baby. This will fit about a 6-month to a 1-year-old, depending on their head size. To get started, you'll be using a size F or 5 crochet hook and some medium weight yarn. This is size 4. Go ahead and attach your yarn to your crochet hook and chain 6. Once you have your 6 chains, go ahead and turn your work slightly away from your stitch into the back area, and we are going to be crocheting into these back bumps. So go ahead and place 1 slip stitch in each of the back bumps for a total of 6 stitches. And when you get to the end of your row, go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work. So we're going to be working into the back loop only all the way across the brim of this hat. So go ahead and insert your hook into your first stitch and place 1 slip stitch in the back loop only of each stitch across for a total of 6 stitches. When you get to the end of your row, go ahead and chain 1 and turn your work, and you're just going to repeat that over and over and over again, placing 1 slip stitch in the back loop only of each stitch across until your brim reaches about 10 inches. Don't forget to chain 1 to turn your work. Once your brim reaches about 10 inches, make sure that you've chained 1 at the end of your last row. And I also like to make sure that when I line up the 2 edges that the tail is on the opposite side of my hook. So to crochet the 2 edges together, what you're going to want to do is insert your hook into the front loop only of the edge closest to you and in the back loop only of the edge furthest from you. And you just want to align the stitches together like that, and you just want to draw through for a slip stitch. And you want to repeat that for all 6 stitches across. And when you get to your last stitch, go ahead and chain 1. And we are going to flip the brim inside out. And what we're going to want to do is place 4 stitch markers at the 4 edges here. So go ahead and place a stitch marker where your hook is. And for me, I just use scrap pieces of yarn. And then you want to lay the brim flat, and on the opposite side of the last stitch marker you placed, go ahead and place another one. You want to fold the brim so that the stitch markers are on top of each other like that, and then you want to place a stitch marker on these 2 sides. And go ahead and remove the stitch marker where your hook is, and we're going to be placing 48 single crochets in the brim here. I'm also going to be crocheting over my tail, but it is important that you try to get 12 in between each of your sections here. So between the hook and this stitch marker, these 2 stitch markers, these 2, and at the end. So like I said before, go ahead and place 12 single crochets in this first section here. And there aren't any actual stitches, so you just kind of have to make them. And once you reach your stitch marker and you have 12 single crochets, go ahead and remove it and place 12 more between where you currently are and your next stitch marker. And go ahead and repeat that all the way around until you have 48 single crochets. And once you reach the end of your row and you have 48 single crochets, go ahead and insert your hook into the back loop only of your first single crochet stitch, and you're going to want to place another single crochet stitch there. And go ahead and repeat that all the way around. And when you come to the end of each row, just go ahead and keep placing your single crochets. Don't slip stitch and chain 1 or anything like that. You just want to have an endless pattern here. And go ahead and repeat that until you have 9 rows of single crochets in the back loop only. Once you're done with your 9 rows of single crochets, it's time to start decreasing. So in order to decrease this, we are going to place 1 single crochet in the first 6 stitches, and then we're going to single crochet together the 7th and the 8th stitch. I'm going to be using a stitch marker to keep up with my rows. So I'm going to go ahead and place my first 2 stitches. Then I'm just going to place my stitch marker in that first stitch. And now I've already placed 2 stitches, so I just need to place 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and now we're going to single crochet together the 7th and the 8th stitch. And you're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around your hat until you get back to your stitch marker, and you should have a total of 42 stitches when you're done with this row. Once you reach the end of your row, go ahead and remove your stitch marker, and then we're going to place one single crochet in the next 5 stitches, and we're going to single crochet together the 6th and the 7th. Go ahead and repeat that all the way around your row until you get back to your stitch marker, and you should have a total of 36 stitches when you're done. Once you reach the end of your row, go ahead and remove your stitch marker, and we're going to be placing one single crochet in the back loop only of the next 4 stitches, and then we're going to single crochet together the 5th and the 6th stitch. And you're just going to want to repeat that all the way around until you reach your stitch marker. Once you reach the end of your row, you're going to want to remove your stitch marker and place one single crochet in the back loop only of the next 4 stitches, and then you're going to want to single crochet together the 5th and the 6th stitch. And then go ahead and repeat that all the way around until you get back to your stitch marker for a total of 30 stitches. Once you reach the end of your row, go ahead and remove your stitch marker, and then we're going to be placing one single crochet in the back loop only of the next 3 stitches, and then we're going to single crochet together the 4th and the 5th stitch. And go ahead and repeat that all the way around till you get back to your stitch marker for a total of 24 stitches. And once you reach the end of that row, go ahead and remove your stitch marker. We're going to be placing one single crochet in the back loop only of the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to single crochet together stitch 3 and stitch 4. Just repeat that all the way around until you get back to your stitch marker for a total of 18 stitches. And once you reach the end of that row, go ahead and remove your stitch marker, and we're going to be placing one single crochet in the next stitch, and then we're going to single crochet together the next 2 stitches after that, stitch 2 and stitch 3. And you're just going to want to repeat that all the way around your row for a total of 12 stitches. And once you reach the end of your row, we're just going to single crochet together the next 2 stitches for the entire row across for a total of 6 stitches when you're done. And once you get to the top of that row, you've got 2 options. You can either single crochet together the next 3 stitches, or you can insert your hook across from your little small circle here and place a slip stitch and just kind of slip stitch wherever you think there is a gap in the top up here. And all you have to do from there is just go ahead and tie off your yarn. And once you've tied off your yarn and hidden your tail, then you are done. You can go ahead and add a poof ball or maybe a flower on the side or something cute like that. But otherwise, you have completed your beanie. Please let me know in the comments below if you experienced any issues while you were trying to crochet this, and I will do my best to help you out. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, Lipstick on a Rig. Thank you so much for making this with me, and I hope you have a wonderful, awesome day.